What is up, everybody, and welcome to another video. In today's video, I have some exciting stuff. I have two packages from BBBarfly, so that's very cool. So I wanted to unbox these. I don't know that they are different, but I don't know that they're the same either, so we're just going to unpack both. I know what they're kind of supposed to be, and I think it was supposed to be kind of a situation of like one for me and one for Brandon, but I didn't know that they'd be coming in two different packages, so we're going to open both and see what's going on in here. This is very exciting. I know, yeah, I was flipping my serif today. Always gotta love the serif, as always. So beautiful. Love this thing. I'm probably going to get it re-anodized at some point. It's not, like, thankfully, because of its texture, most of the anodization that is that nice blue color is going to stay for a really long time because it's underneath the part where I'm actually touching it, whereas you can see, like, on the side, it's faded away substantially. So I do want to, like, do something about that at some point. But anyways, let's get into here. Ooh, okay. So it would appear that what's going on is I've got the stuff that I was expecting them to send, and then also some stands, maybe? Oh, yeah. That is definitely a balisong stand. That's pretty cool. I know they had been experimenting with a bunch of 3D printing stuff recently, which I think is always a lot of fun, so that's very fun to see. All right, so a couple balisong stands, and then whatever's in here. Let's find out, shall we? Ooh. Oh, yeah. Oh, baby. Okay, so this is the BB Superfly, which I'm suddenly realizing I have the, like, regular Superfly, I think, in the other room, so maybe I go grab that at some point, or maybe we just hang out and just look at this one. But this is the Hex version of the BB Superfly that has this incredible hexagonal texture on the handles. And I reached out to them about this recently because I was like, oh man, I really, you know, I like the BB Superfly a lot. I think it's an incredible balisong that has a lot more going on for the price than almost anything else. It's just an incredible value for the money. And so I was like, as soon as they released this Hex version, which has, you know, a textured face instead of a hole pattern, with the hole pattern being reduced to basically, you know, two little holes, and then there's some undermilling that you can't really see very well on camera inside of there to, like, reduce the weight. I was just very excited as soon as they announced this thing, because I was like, oh man, I really like, you know, things that have that nice textured sort of look. That's why I like my Tsunami, and especially why I like my Talisong and Serif, right, is because, especially on the Talisong and Serif, they don't have any hole pattern at all, and only have this really cool situation with a texture. And so this kind of follows alongside that, where it does have holes, but not really. It's mostly a texture-based thing, and then on top of that, it has a really cool undermilling that I think is awesome. I was wondering if, you know, this was going to weigh substantially more than the original Superfly because of the removal of that pattern, and it seems, at least upon initial flipping, it seems to me that it is about exactly the same in terms of its weight. It feels very well balanced, like the original did, so thankfully not a problem there. Also, you can see it's fully kitted out with both of the weights installed in the handles, which I will definitely be, I think, removing at least one of them, if not both, but I'll experiment with that and see, you know, what style I prefer flipping-wise, just because I think that's kind of the fun of this, right? We talked about in our review of the BB Superfly that it is one of the better weight adjustment systems because you actually have an ability to adjust it to a pleasing, you know, handle bias and amount of neutrality. Like, without any weights in it, it's actually pretty nice and neutral. It's not blade heavy, and then with both weights in it, it is nice and handle biased, but not like too much so. And so that's what's really nice about this balisong is the weight adjustment system is actually useful. And it's relatively easy to adjust too. You just remove, you know, a couple screws and you can get that done. So big fan of this thing as per usual, but very cool. The texture is really good. It feels super nice in the hands. It's a little weird. I haven't felt anything that like has a texture like this on a balisong before. You know, usually the texture is like a bunch of lines or like some shapes. This is a bunch of like pits. Like you can feel that they're all recessed. But they're recessed in an angular manner, which obviously it's a hexagonal pattern, so that makes sense. But it just feels different than any texture I've really flipped with before, but it is satisfying. Like, I like the feeling of this texture a lot already, I can tell you that much. It is perfectly good flipper. It is listening to me the same way that the normal Superfly does, so that's really good to see. Man, I don't know. I don't know if there's a ton to say here other than, like, it is just a really nice BB Superfly, just with a whole new imagining for the texture. And I think that's all it really needs to be, right? I don't think it needs to be anything crazy. The reason that I got this, too, is I specifically want to try modding it, you know? I want somebody to anodize it, because, I mean, that is just a huge amount of surface area that is uninterrupted and just a texture that is basically just asking to be anodized. So I'll probably get this sent off to somebody for anodization, maybe Andrew Myers again, because he was just fantastic to work with and is a anodization king. But yeah, no, I gotta say, I am, you know, it's about what I expected. It's really nice, so it's super good. But I don't know if it's any, you know, it's not that much different than a Superfly, other than it's just a really cool, unique texture. I think I like the way it feels more in the hand than the original Superfly. Like, the pattern on the Superfly isn't bad by any means, but it's not, like, crazy either. This is at least extremely unique and does feel quite satisfying in the hand while I'm flipping. Like, I feel the texture. It is adding a good amount of grip to, like, where I'm grabbing it, so that part is really nice. And then on top of that, I'm just, I don't know, it just is nice to feel while flipping, kind of like the Tsunami's texture can be. So, I'm going to unbox Brandon's. I'm assuming that it's the same thing, so I'm just going to check. Oh, I see. Maybe I already did unbox Brandon's, because I see in here more balisong stands, and one of them is blue, and the blue one might be mine because the other one's red, and obviously Brandon is the connoisseur of red, so maybe the red one is intended for him, so I'll make sure that goes to the right spot. Let's see, is this any different, or is this exactly the same? It looks like it is exactly the same to me. Pull it out just to make sure. And it feels, yeah, it's exactly the same. It feels awesome in the hand, though. Like, I can't lie. I am quite a fan of the way this thing feels to flip. Like that. That is quite nice. Huh. Cool. Alright, well, I'll put this back so that Brandon can unbox it himself later. Don't tell him that I did that. And then let's go through what else is in the box here. So obviously it comes with the classic BBBarfly, you know, business card, which you always gotta love. I love their weird little mascot. I think he's awesome. Got some really cool Barfly stickers. Definitely need to, I already have a couple on my case, but I need to add some more stickers to my daily life. This is a fun new addition, the keychain. I haven't seen the keychain before, so big fan of that. Gotta love a good little keychain. And then, the star of the show, as per usual, is just the incredible amount of replacement hardware that Barfly always includes. And look at this, oh my gosh, a T10 Torx bit as well. So not only do you get all of this extremely nice replacement hardware, which looks like it includes 4 replacement bushings. It's like more than enough of every single piece of this balisong. The washers, the bushings, it's kind of incredible to me how much how much effort they're putting into this kind of thing. I don't know of anyone else that does this level of care when it comes to the replacement hardware, and I genuinely love BBBarfly for that, so that's extremely cool. So yeah. Oh yeah, and not to mention, I mean, first of all, it came with a couple balisong stands, which they do work very well. I actually like that quite a bit. Let me see if I put my Serif in one. Oh yeah, yeah, that's a great stand. Love a good balisong stand like that. So the stands work, and that's a cool accessory. I don't know if that's like actually included or not, or if that's just something they sent with it, but either way, very cool of them. And then, of course, it comes in these nice, like, actual zipper pouches. Like, I don't know, out of every single balisong manufacturer, when it comes to the balisong makers that are, like, genuinely not cutting any corners and are trying to put in a shocking amount of effort, BBBarfly stands out to me every single time as a maker that I genuinely trust in that way, right? They put the effort into their packaging, they put the effort into their products, they put the effort into the accessories that you get with those products. Like, there are quite literally no holds barred and no corners cut when it comes to their stuff. And their stuff is genuinely very high quality and some of the best price to performance you can get in this hobby, especially for something that was made in Canada. So yeah, man, very impressive. I really love this thing. I'm probably going to get it anodized at some point in the future, so definitely keep an eye out for me potentially doing that. And in the meantime, I'll catch y'all later. So peace.